we're back to where it all began. You entered the golden hour from this place. And it is also from here where you will enter the true Penacony. It is a pleasure to journey alongside you once more. But it's time I laid bare the entire truth before you. As you might have heard, I also go by another name. Stellaron Hunter Sam. I'm fine. Sorry, I hope I haven't scared you. I know you have many questions. Do you remember when we encountered death in that strange dreamscape? When I was caught by that meme? In that instant before it killed me? I saw the reflection of another dreamscape in its ghastly pupils. So, following the clues in the script, I came up with some theories about the meme. That's why I instructed Silverwolf to issue invitations, drawing everyone to the Dreams Hotel. I intended to call upon death before you arrived, to solve the riddle using more direct means, and then invite you to join. However, contrary to my wishes, I couldn't defy the script, and I didn't get a chance to explain it to you. It is how you see now. I was impaled by the bladed wings of death. The heavy pressure of concentrated memoria miasma exploded in my mind as if it was actually reality. But after the momentary numbness subsided, I found that my body was absolutely unscathed. I was still alive. And it was just as I thought. I had arrived at a place starkly different from this beautiful dream. Beneath the dreamscape of Penacony lies another, more chaotic, more primal memory zone. Its name? Land of the Exiles. And so, then I returned to the hotel in the dreamscape, hoping to tell you of its existence. Yet I could not reveal my own identity. So, I could only divert your party's attention and lure you away from the battlefield. And after, all my attempts proved futile. It wasn't until not long ago when a crimson blade of light shattered the high wall of the dream, causing you all to fall far into the abyssal depths of the dreamscape, that I was able to awaken you and your companions one by one. And that's it. That is all that's happened so far. I know it's tough to believe all this without reservations. I just want to say, you are very close to the final answer. Just one more thing needs to be done. And then I can prove it to you. Now, let's leave this place. Please close your eyes. Take a deep breath and visualize the dreamscape's outline in your heart. And remember, you must not open your eyes at all times. 3, 2, 1. Don't be afraid. The one who has come to greet us has arrived. I never knew you could do this. Do you have a driver's license?
I do.
That is surprising.
Why? Because this is Japella, the city of sins?
No, it's nothing. I'm just thinking that you haven't slept in 20 system hours. Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine. I'll survive. Same goes for you.
I'm not so sure about that. Slow down a bit.
Infiltration is over. Feel free to activate Sam anytime you'd like.
There's still some time before the next part of the script unfolds. Let me stay a little longer in this body. Such a long tunnel. Didn't feel this long when I set off.
In half a system hour, it will lead us to Kafka. And then comes the downfall of the Japella Brotherhood.
Is that also part of the script?
It's in your script too.
Sorry. I didn't notice.
Their destiny won't change just because of your selective ignorance. I told you before, it's a bad habit.
What about you then? Is this the moment you finally find the death you've been looking for?
As always, it's a blank slate. It's not on this planet. Why the sudden inquiry?
Because I'm currently in a car with a sleep-deprived driver. I just want to get there in one piece.
This car has full self-driving capabilities. I'll just put my hand on the steering wheel. Will that do?
Hey, don't take everything so seriously. Elio would always say there's only one type of destiny. The inescapable type. He can see the future, and we, likewise, are aware of our predetermined end. But before that moment arrives, we can still choose what we do. We all have this right, don't we?
After today, Japella's name will disappear from cosmic history, and the Everflame Mansion will take its place. In the not-too-distant future, you'll receive an invitation. That's your next stop.
Land of the Dreams. Penacony.
I hope you find whatever you seek there. Be it answers or salvation.
Yeah. Glad to see you're safe and sound.
Close your eyes. This is the answer. Isn't it incredible? The monster that we have always known as Death is actually the guardian of the land of the Exiles. It abides by a certain rule, abducting people from their dreams and bringing them here.
The question that has been perplexing us, does death really exist in Dreamscape, appears to be a cognitive trap. It was laid by those orchestrating events from the shadows to cover up the truth behind the disappearances and the existence of this fortress known as Dreamflux Reef. Every emergence of that meme is related to the Watchmaker. Since Dreamflux Reef is where it brings its captives, it's likely that many of our long-standing questions will be answered in this place.
The atmosphere here is starkly different from the beautiful dream. There are no regulators here like the family. And they all look like they're mildly dazed. But from the whispers of the residents, they've heard a familiar name. Gallagher.
It's that man again. Always in the right place at the right time. Though that does save us the trouble of looking for him. Himiko and March have already made a move. Get ready. We're about to set off.
The real dreamscape, the land of the Exiles. Before we go, should we speak to everyone first?
I am really sorry for waiting until now to tell you everything. 2 reasons. Firstly, the script. In the future that Elio saw, Sam and the Astral Express's confrontation was inevitable. I tried to break the shackles of the prophecy, but this is as far as I could go. That aside, there were also my personal motives. I wished to travel with you as Firefly, and not Sam. Thank you. Elio only gave me one instruction. Allow the Astral Express to pursue the Grand Legacy. It means that the Watchmaker's legacy holds great significance to trailblazing. And to you. Elio's scripts used to revolve and expand around certain specific Stellarons. But with your appearance, this condition has apparently ceased to be appropriate. Perhaps he also saw the impossible in the future. Do you still remember that medical cabin I told you about? Well, that's Sam. It belongs to the Iron Cavalry of Glamoth's Firmament Frontline. A Firefly Type 4 tactical heavy assault mech. It is the cradle of my vitality. And the meaning of my birth. And for the longest time it was how I should have looked to the rest of the world. The timescale of Dreamflux Reef differs from reality, so we mustn't lower our guard. You're sensitive to Memoria. A slight misstep, and you could get lost in this memory zone. Keep going straight down this alley, and it'll lead to an elevator. It'll take us to the center of the land of the Exiles.
The atmosphere in this fortress is pretty different from that in the beautiful dream.
When I first saw it, I was in awe too. The sky here, it's like a reflection of the 12 dreamscapes. What's even more bizarre is that this place is also separated into trade and residential areas. The layout may be simple, but the facilities are very comprehensive. It seems that there are quite a number of people living here.
Though both dreamscapes have distinct styles, the architectural designs are quite similar. Works of the same hand, perhaps. Hard not to speculate on the connection. But there's no point in overthinking things. Let's meet up with Himiko and the others first.
Take a right turn at the end of this road and you'll reach the trade district. There are more people there, and perhaps someone knows where she is.
Not coming with us?
The Astral Express likely needs room for some internal deliberation. In the meantime, I'll try and locate Gallagher.
Sure. Let's reconnect later.
Show me, Rock.
All right, as you wish. Here she is.
Huh?
What's your trick this time?
Just kidding. I mean, This lady will lead us to Robin, right?
And the crew, too. There are too many people who you owe an explanation.
That'd be great. Please follow me, Honorable Oak family head. Now, all the actors are on the stage. Dreamflux, here we meet again. Everyone from the Astral Express.
Robin.
I brought Gallagher here. It's time to face the truth.
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. Think about this. What would it cost to create and maintain such a lavish dreamland? It's people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure flowing through the dreamscape. It tempts people to indulge in the dreamscape, and gradually their minds succumb, becoming nourishment for the sweet dream. Confusion, laziness, and cowardice, weaknesses that plague humanity, were magnified and nourished by the family. Penacony became a new kind of prison, even more impenetrable than the previous one. Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony, swiftly quelling any opposition that arose. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata, and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Over the years, I created a meme within this dream for our use. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep again while they are inside the dreamscape.
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to find forces capable of resolving the Stellaron disaster and draw them into Penacony to uncover the truth.
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy. Since this is the Watchmaker's first announcement in decades, the traitor within the family is bound to reveal themselves.
So, the legacy is just a facade.
If you want to consider the Stellaron as the legacy, I'm totally fine with that.
If that's the case, where is the Stellaron now?
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family, I'm sure he holds all the answers.
As I suspected, the core of this issue lies within the Stellaron.
Back here again.
Sometimes I feel like you're still alive, old friend. Like you've still got so much to say and do. I've kept my promise, brought the future trailblazers you've waited so long for. I don't know why you were so obsessed with that train, but I remember your last words. Don't let us down, old man.
What's happening?
Go ahead. His resting place lies in the garden up ahead. The first and last nameless of Penacony. Mikhail Char Legward, the Watchmaker. You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to us to forge ahead.
Since he's already carried out his last wish, My final mission is complete. But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude, staking everything on some nameless in the future? But you have the numbers, and in numbers comes strength. So that might just delay your inevitable a little more.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals and won't grant us an upper hand. Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be a wiser course of action. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or otherwise, we have a chance at gaining the upper hand. But the problem is, on the eve of the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the theater? Family security will be airtight, and if we brute force it, even if we succeed, it's too risky.
So, no one's gonna say anything? Then I'll raise my hand. I know the answer to this question. What's that supposed to mean? You'd better believe it. So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a pageant to kick off the festival. It's called the Soulglad TM Festivity Auditions, or something, and it's going to be held in the moment of Scorch Sand. As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar, and be able to personally bask in the graces of Miss Robin. Not that that's important. What's crucial is that we can enter the Grand Theater before the audience arrives.
So, how do we go about participating in these festivity auditions?
I've already procured special invite tickets from Miss Robin's fan club. To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along, but now it looks like even if I scrape through, I probably still won't have the chance to shake Miss Robin's hand.
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a publicity stunt, set up by Mikhail to drum up attention. But it looks like it might be worth a shot.
We'll follow Marge's plan. Mr. Gallagher, will you be joining us?
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission. Whether Penacony can awaken from this dream is all down to you.
Should we ever cross paths again? I'd love for you to visit the Express.
All right. I'll have to add to that data bank of yours you've got on the Express.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and Stellaron Hunter's objectives are aligned, we're willing to cooperate with you.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Penacony. I'm pleased that we can finally fight shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't ask for a better ending.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone, let's prepare to move out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scorch Sand Hall. This is where challengers thrive and dream chasers shine, all under the watchful eye of the entire universe. If you have ambition, dreams, and the drive, dear friend, the next superstar of Penacony's Charmony Festival could be you!
Oh, wow, they've really outdone themselves! Oh, I'm starting to get excited!
Behold, here come 4 friends with spirits high and full of zeal. Are you aspiring to be the superstars of the festival?
Is he talking about us?
Yes, you! There's no doubt about it. I see you have all the potential of a superstar in you.
People are pouring in. Kinda feels like all sorts of baddies are showing up. Let's get in there quickly and enter the competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make way. Make way.
Coming towards us now is one of Penacony's top 10 wealthiest tycoons and the soul-glad business empire's founder, Mr. Dean.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the director of Soulglad's factory, Dean Lida. My 4 friends, introduce yourselves to the audience across the cosmos.
Hello, everybody. I'm Himiko, a nameless from the Astral Express, and these are my companions.
Don't you guys need to hide your identities?
Can't hide it anyways. Penacony is plastered with our posters. And because the Astral Express is so well known, a family won't dare to make any rash moves. Hello, everyone! I'm March 7th. I'm an ordinary girl who loves adventures.
Hello, everyone. I'm Firefly. I am also an ordinary girl who enjoys adventures.
So it's a bunch of nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to be spectacular. Time is precious. My 4 friends, come with me.
Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a blast.
Keep at it.
This place is buzzing.
That's right. This venue is a miniature representation of that time known as the era filled with boundless possibilities.
Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a blast.
Nameless, your arrival reminds me of the grand occasion when Penacony was first established. I was still a young, bright-eyed lad back then, lured here by the watchmaker's ads, full of zeal and ready to make my first fortune in life. Once, during a particularly grueling day, I passed out and was resuscitated by a drink from Mr. Susa. That sweet taste has since been etched in my mind, and that was what drove me to create the Soul Glad that we all know and love today. The dream-chasing era was truly a wondrous time. I wholeheartedly hope you make it to the finish and emerge as the next superstars of Penacony. Ha! That's the trailblazing spirit. How about you, Miss March?
Hello, everyone! Next up, get ready for the Mega March 7th adventure, where I'm going to break the speedrun world record!
Trailblazing into the uncharted and challenging the limits. That's Miss March 7th for you. How about Miss Firefly?
I hope that by the end of this journey, everyone will have achieved the outcome that they hope for.
Ah, a wonderful wish! Miss Himiko, what are you expecting from your team?
Safety first, everyone.
Simple words, but full of warmth. Waiting for you are 3 stages, each connected to that era. And in the last stage, you will face off against a champion who has defended the title to this very day. Those are the rules. Simple. Everyone clear? Now, I hereby announce that the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival of the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises, has started.
Everyone, as the Charmony Festival is drawing closer, we must reach the end as quickly as possible. Factoring in efficiency and safety, splitting up into 2 groups is the best choice. March and I haven't known Miss Firefly for too long and aren't overly familiar with her. It'd probably be better if the 2 of you paired up.
Fine by me. Let's do it.
All right. I don't have a problem with that.
We'll split into the assigned groups then. Let's not waste time.
Welcome to the first stage of Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd Scorched Sand Festival of the 20th season, Dream Play Fantasia! In this stage, you can choose between 2 challenges, the School of Acting or School of Action. In the School of Acting challenge, you have to complete 3 performances from 3 scripts and move the panel judges. In the School of Action challenge, you have to defeat 3 groups of enemies convincingly and reach the end. Now, make your choice.
The stage of dreams for those who dare to dream. Welcome to the School of Acting stage. Step on to the...
Competitors, allow me to introduce the rules of this challenge to you. There are 3 stages up ahead. On each, you will find an outline of a script. These 3 scripts were written by the legendary filmmaker, The Watchmaker, and depict various stories from Penacony's era of pioneering. Your task is to bring those moments to life, find the right words, and act convincingly to make the judges feel the script's intended emotions. Oh, I wish you a successful performance. Also, a bit of trivia. The record score for this stage is held by a participant with fiery red hair. His exceptional performance brought even the strictest judge to tears. It's like he wasn't even acting at all.
We are running out of time, so let's get this over with quickly.
Keep at it.
Just take a look at this pair! Such star quality! Since you've come as a pair, I'll prep a 2-person scene for you! You 2, are you ready? Envision that you both, driven by the spirit of exploration, are arriving at the land of dreams that is Penacony for the first time. But instead of lush lands, you find yourselves amidst swirling sands and desolation, far from the paradise the Watchmaker described. You're driving an old clunker through the wilderness of the dreamscape, braving the cold wind, choking on the dust, and suddenly, a fierce memory zone meme blocks your path. Now, Mr. Greyhair, what line would you deliver to express your disappointment in Penacony?
No, that's not right. You're trying to express disappointment. Why do you sound so chipper? Do you usually express disappointment this way?
Very good! Now, though you're disappointed, your screen partner is conversely very enthusiastic. Now, young lady, you will say...
This is great! I love living on the wild side!
Very good! Very intense! And then we cut to the story's next scene. You find a job mending the rails, but the days are long and your endurance can't keep up, and you finally collapse in the endless expanse of desert. Suddenly, sweet rain falls from the sky, wetting your lips and rousing your spirits. Now, Mr. Greyhair, what line will best express your surprise at this moment?
We're already at the next scene. You need to convey surprise now, not disappointment. That's not right. That line doesn't sound very surprised.
But at this moment, your partner yet gazes into the sky, both her eyes closed. The raindrops fall, blurring her vision, and she tragically says,
Perhaps we were never meant to succeed. Right?
Fantastic! Both of you have an incredibly solid foundation in dialogue delivery. However, lines aren't everything in a performance. Please continue this story on the second stage. Up next, you'll be challenged with a body language test.
I hope these tests won't take too long.
Here, you two are required to skillfully utilize body language to portray the story context I've laid out for you. Picking up from where we left off, a heavy downpour saves you both stranded in the desert. This rain quenches the anger in your heart. You look to your companion, now completely devoid of fighting spirit, wanting to comfort her. At this moment, what should you do to make her laugh?
You seriously think that would make someone laugh? You look less like you want to make me laugh and more like you want to abandon me. The test now is about body language. I don't think dialogue is allowed here.
Right answer! Your companion sees you rolling about in the sand and thinks about the arduous obstacles along this journey. She can't help but let loose a laugh, rekindling hope in her heart. And so this girl...
I'm gonna get back on my feet and keep moving forward.
A tug at the heartstrings! The story continues to develop. The heavy rain leads you both to sense a business opportunity. So you start venturing into the umbrella industry. But just as the business begins to pick up, competitors start flooding the market with low-priced goods, squeezing your market share. You have no choice. The goods you stockpiled at high prices have to be sold at a loss. This is a pretty self-destructive move, which drives your business to the brink of bankruptcy. At this moment, what would you, who refuses to admit defeat, decide to do?
It's totally giving up! Come back here! Trade war by kowtowing!
Fantastic! But it's a pity your friend does not agree. Seeing that you're up to your eyeballs in debt, she sees nothing but despair in her future. And then...
I leave Penacony in utter disappointment! Is that okay?
Of course! Absolutely! I was this close to tears! Both of you possess exceptional acting talent! However, the true test is yet to come. You're about to encounter the harshest judge this show has ever seen. You'll need to rely on perfect performances if you want to win them over.
Welcome to the final stage. Actually, all the scenarios that you previously encountered were all from the film Once Upon a Time in Dreams. Two companions arrive on Penacony with nothing but a dream. Their desire for achievement is met with continuous setbacks. Ultimately, one continues on, despite spiraling into debt, while the other concedes defeat and leaves. Many years later, their paths cross once more in the thriving Penacony. Yet, they refuse to acknowledge each other because... Against the backdrop of a revitalized Penacony, the joy of reunion mixes with the sorrow of past separation, the awkwardness of being strangers, and the shyness of a long-awaited encounter, all converging at this very moment. Give it a shot. Try and convey this bittersweet scene to me. Bring it to life with precise and emotive acting.
Is this ever going to end? I know! Why don't you try that clockwork thing you used before?
Your performance is far. A mogul who went from rags to riches, treating a former companion with such disdain. It just makes my blood boil.
Huh? But we haven't even done anything! Is your imagination running wild again?
Brilliant! Your portrayal outdoes the original. It's simply beautiful!
We have passed the test. We ought to hurry up. The Stellaron is at stake.
A mogul who went from rags to riches, treating a former companion with such disdain. It just makes my blood boil. You pass with full marks.
Congrats to both of you for clearing the stage, but more importantly, are you having fun? Fun is more important than success. Look at the time! You finished much faster than that red-haired contestant did.
That red-haired contestant? Who is that exactly?
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome to the second stage of the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises. Gunfire time! You have the option to choose gunfire and undergo Brother Hanu's trial, or time, where you'll face Clucky's trial. And now, make your choice! Dear friends, welcome to the enchanting universe created by the Watchmaker. Awaiting you is the morally dubious yet ever-charming character from the animated Clocky series, Hanu! It is said that these cartoon characters were inspired by the Watchmaker's own experiences. According to research by Clocky scholars, the original Hanu of reality shared a deep friendship with the Watchmaker, akin to comrades in arms. Enter into the world of Hanu via the TV by the entrance and partake in an enchanting and suspenseful story with him. Good luck in there!
If it's a gunfire trial, we should be able to settle this with a fight, right? I hope this won't waste too much of our time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Very good! Looks like you've got the hang of it! In this Hanu's Adventure episode, Boss Stone has gathered his battleships for an assault on Dreamville. Old Buzzfly, Cousin Wolf, and Bombhead are all raring to go. The brave Hanu must thwart their advance and protect his home!
Are we both in control of this Hanu character?
Alas, Hanu presently is ill-equipped to fend off the malevolent mischief makers, which is why he is preparing to seek out the Puzzle Gentleman's aid. Go forth and speak to him.
Oh, brave Hanu, you look like you could really use some help. Long time no see, Hanu. You look pretty stressed out. How about an intense and thrilling game of Dream Jigsaw to blow off some steam? Oh my! Are you telling me that Boss Stone has rallied the villains to seize Dreamville? Listen closely, Hanu. I'm aware you're in need of a suitable weapon. And I also know there's one just upstairs. But you know what? You'll have to play an exhilarating round of Dream Jigsaw first. Now scurry along, Hanu, but tread carefully. Two ne'er-do-wells are also eyeing those jigsaw pieces. I can't wait to see you finish the Dream Jigsaw. Best of luck, Hanu!
Let's stay alert and make sure those monsters don't spot us. Look up there! If we can push that thing down, do you think that would do the trick? Finally, that's all the jigsaw pieces. Let's hurry back.
Oh my! The exquisite sensation of perfect alignment! Hurry now, Hanu! Touch that TV set and transform back into your old self. Then head upstairs. Your weapon awaits you there.
Are such haphazard instructions really okay? Disconnecting from that thing so suddenly has left me feeling slightly disoriented. Is that Hanu? What exactly is he talking about?
Tick-tock! It's time for me to make an appearance!
Clocky? I can also see him. Is this character part of the show?
In Dreamville, Clocky is everywhere and can do anything! Like right now! I can be your translator! Tick-tock! Hanu says, battle! We must do battle! The enemy is at our doorstep, and we have no path of retreat for the future of Dreamville! Touch that suspicious-looking TV right now!
So they just jumped inside that TV. Sheesh. Logic in this plot and dialogue is really being pushed to its limits. Well, here we go again. Ready? I am gradually getting used to this. Who knows? I might even be able to perform some high-level moves with Hanu.
Oh, did someone say high-level movies just now? That's right, pal. Last we saw, Hanu was preparing for battle. Suddenly, he hears heavy footsteps coming from the hallway, but brave Hanu won't go down without a fight. He instantly sprints for the storage room, ready for a do-or-die showdown against the baddies.
But we still don't have any weapons in hand.
Guess what? Hanu's favorite bazooka just so happens to be in that storage room. So get a move on.
What a coincidentally convenient plot twist. It'd be even more awesome if the organizers allowed me to wear armor. The storage room. It's behind the shelves, right? He wasn't lying. There's actually a bazooka here. Now we should have a way of dealing with those baddies. This thing feels just like the soaring locust too. Careful. It looks like we've got more company. Get ready to fire! Here we go again. But no big deal. We're pretty handy with this bazooka now. That should be all of them, right?
Oh my! Hanu time is on a streak. Everyone, the stage is complete. Quickly, head through the TV to the next stage.
Well, that's that. But it is gonna be hard to let go of this bazooka. Never mind. Let's hurry over to the next stage.
Congratulations to both of you! Oh, you've overcome all obstacles and proven yourselves. But, unfortunately, there is only one who can be Penacony's festive superstar. In the final stage, you will face the defending champion. If you fail, you will lose the opportunity to become the festive superstar. Welcome to the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival's third stage in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises' Superstar Showdown.
No way, I think I just saw someone. Someone extraordinary.
The champion's crown awaits you on the stage. Welcome to the arena of Action Stars. Please make your way to the stage and vanquish those malevolent scoundrels with your dazzling fighting techniques. The title of Penacony's next big action star awaits you!
Competitors, allow me to introduce the rules of this challenge to you. There are a total of 3 stages up ahead, each with their own challenges. The enemies you will contend against are antagonists from the film Once Upon a Time in Dreams. Defeat them swiftly and decisively to set a new record. It's worth mentioning that the fastest time of this stage was achieved by a contestant with fiery red hair. Astoundingly, he overcame all enemies across the 3 stages in only 5 minutes.
Time is of the essence. Let's make this quick.
Contestants, you are about to confront the monsters of the primordial dreamscape. During this period, Penacony was nothing but a barren wasteland. The dreamscape was fraught with strife and disorder, with memory zone memes running rampant. As dream chasers who've come to Penacony, defeating them is your first step towards success.
ルールは破るためにある。やっ
Soul Glad! My Soul Glad!
Pretty simple. I just hope these tests don't take too long.
Congratulations on becoming the first group of dream chasers! Answering the call from the watchmaker, you are disappointed to learn that Penacony isn't paved with gold. Just as you're about to give up, a downpour sparks a business idea. You enter the umbrella business! But just as things are looking up, you encounter a competitor. Defeat them and emerge victorious from this trade war.
Why is our opponent so glad?
Because This is Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd festivity auditions of the 20th season!
Isn't this just product placement?
To safeguard the integrity of Soul Glad! The world kisses me with pain, and I provide with Soul Glad in return. Whoosh!
Congratulations to our 2 Dream Chasers for establishing yourselves as budding stars in Penacony. However, now you face a competitor selling at low prices, pushing you to the brink of bankruptcy. No matter how lengthy the battle, you always persevere. Topple this powerful opponent, and the tides will turn, paving a way to success!
None will take my Soul Glad away from me.
Yoka, Shibaku. Kyōtei Saibaku. Shōdo Sakusen Jikkou!
The body withers, but the Soul Glad name shall not.
That should do it! Okay. Let's go. Mr. Yang is waiting for us. Isn't this fight way off from the actual storyline?
Transforming into a dinosaur isn't imaginative enough for you? This is the sort of magic only seen on Penacony. Anyway, let's get back on track. Where were we? Oh, that's right. After an extended battle, you finally emerged victorious! But the companion who journeyed to Penacony with you chose to leave, having lost all hope. In the years that followed, you encountered each other once more on the prosperous streets of Penacony, but dared not call out to one another. Perhaps akin to the lingering regret of every dream chaser. Well done! You brought to life the thrilling action scenes from Once Upon a Time in Dreams with your fighting skills.
Looks like we won! Let's hurry up and get to the next stage.
Congrats to both of you for clearing the stage, but more importantly, are you having fun? Fun is more important than success. Look at the time! You finished much faster than that red-haired contestant did.
That red-haired contestant? Who is that exactly?
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome to the second stage of the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises. Gunfire time! You have the option to choose gunfire and undergo Brother Hanu's trial, or time, where you'll face Clucky's trial. And now, make your choice! Dear friends, welcome to the wonderful world created by the Watchmaker. Awaiting your ahead is the titular character from the beloved Clocky animation, Clocky! It's said that the Watchmaker dreamed up the idea of Clocky when he was just a boy. Like a skilled pilot, he steered them towards the right path. As a classic figure who grew up with many, Clocky truly shaped a generation, solidifying the Watchmaker's pivotal role in popular culture. Contestants, may you have a wonderful time with Clocky.
The trial of time. I hope it won't waste too much of our time.
Am I just a failed experiment?
That statue. Did it just speak?
Congratulations to both of you! Oh, you've overcome all obstacles and proven yourselves! But, unfortunately, there is only one who can be Penacony's festive superstar. In the final stage, you will face the defending champion. If you fail, you will lose the opportunity to become the festive superstar. Welcome to the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival's third stage in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises, Superstar Showdown!
No way. I think I just saw someone. Someone extraordinary.
Are you a Knight of Beauty? That's right. This magnificent dream is built upon the Stellaron and the countless sacrifices of many people.
Rules are made to be broken.
We don't have much time. May fate allow us to meet again, Knight of Beauty. In that case, let's make our way to the end. Penacony's really thronging with talent. I hope we make it in time.
Congratulations to the Galactic Baseballer and Firefly on becoming this Scorched Sand Festival's champions! We look forward to their amazing entrance in the Charmony Festival! Let's give a round of applause to our aspiring young guests!
Congratulations to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of this year's Charmony Festival. Before entering the Grand Theater, I, on behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere congratulations to you, wishing you joy under their radiance. Your endeavors are worthy of extra recognition, and I've taken steps to ensure that. However, this reward is not a material one, but rather the opportunity for an open and honest communication between us. As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. We delved into the truth about Penacony and its Stellaron, and have come to a consensus. Both I and the Oak family cannot acquiesce to your request.
Just as expected.
We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities cannot and will not revert to a place characterized by chaos, disorder, or anarchy. Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent, common folk living precarious lives, eking out a dreary existence. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves manage to achieve success. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which Penacony would you prefer? A dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise for all?
That's not the point! Don't let him mislead you!
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron, now's not exactly the time to be holding an extensive discourse about Penacony's past and future, is it? The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. Also, it'd be best to tell us the ins and outs of that meeting. This way, we'll at least know what Welt and Miss Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. With all present, let's begin by discussing the details of that meeting. Let's talk about our tribulations and choices, our ideals and beliefs, and our final course of action. The only path to take.
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause, Sunday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this. It's a pity that things have turned out this way.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Shipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many. Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fates.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that point yet, have we? Your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone, and have been widely observed. Patience is a virtue. However, I won't hold it against you. On the contrary, I'm here to make my intentions clear.
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape, least of all in the beautiful new world belonging to the Order. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we, or rather, I, possess the power to put an end to this farce.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that ideal. So, come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps and see once again where this road leads.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts to fill in the gaps.
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before, so she should understand what it entails. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything from you. Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. The road we once took begins here. From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand my thoughts. Let's begin. The first decision. A story about a baby bird. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony, saw that we siblings had no one to turn to and took us in. Later on, Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's yard, we spotted a fledgling Charmony dove all on its own. That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath, having fallen into a shrub. Probably abandoned by its parents, we decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold, with fierce winds at night in the yard, not to mention the many poisonous bugs and wild beasts in the vicinity. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, I suggested we take it inside, place it on the shelf by the window, and asked the adults to fashion a cage for it. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that this bird's fate had already been determined long before this moment. Its destiny was determined by our momentary whim. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, what choice would you make? Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell, or build a cage for it, and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home. I eagerly await your answer.
I can't decipher his intentions right now, but based solely on that question, I would probably choose to build that dove a cage. Even if I was gonna release it back into the sky, it'd have to be strong enough to fly first. If I left it where I found it, I fear it'd never get the chance to fly ever again.
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. If your mind is made up, let me reveal the outcome of this choice. We passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. We even preened its feathers. Later, on the day that Robin left Penacony, we opened the cage door and let it fly back into the sky. I watched it for a long while by the window, probably about 3 or so days. In those 3 long days, the little Charmony dove tried again and again to spread its wings to fly into the sky, but fell to the ground, only to keep trying. Finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. But its attempt did not go perfectly. After flying unsteadily for a while, it fell to the ground, unable to grasp the direction of the air currents. The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly in my embrace. But it was all for naught, finally succumbing to a painful demise. And in that instant, our tender care, our given love and hopes, they all became the inevitable push that sent it to its death. I deeply regret the choices we made. Next, let us head to the second decision. This time, it's the story of a dream chaser. This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the relevant guidance. It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the Dreamscape. Joy, sorrow, arrogance, regret. The complex tapestry of human nature that formed the world. And I was fortunate to catch a glimpse of it. He was a dream chaser, and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life, except that, to most people, the price he paid, I suppose you could say it was everything. He told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he could not afford to raise them, and that at least they could eat if they lived as slaves. He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, his plan to smuggle himself was somewhat clumsy, and he was sniffed out by those pig-headed hounds. After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought was a kind gesture would later lead to dire consequences. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, I'd like you all to make a choice. Will you do as I did, and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy.
This question... Surely it has some connection to the baby bird story. And this connection is precisely the breakthrough Sunday aims to use to persuade us. I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their pursuit.
It seems illegal stowaways are really quite common on Penacony. But that guy in the story, I don't think he deserves any sympathy at all. He sold his kids to chase a dream. Even if he intended to go back for them, it's still insanely irresponsible. With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back home. This person deserves to be punished.
It seems you, like me, are pondering whether a different choice could have led to a better outcome. Sadly, his fate would only be more tragic. Say he never gets caught. He would only die from delirium. The methods with which illegal stowaways enter dreams are unorthodox, not flawless like the hotels. Living in the dreamscape would be a mere pipe dream. Should he be apprehended? Could the hounds afford to turn a blind eye? The answer is a definitive no. They couldn't bear the resulting consequences, and thus wouldn't dare extend a helping hand. As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. Next comes the third and final decision. And the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents, and it was a letter from my sister. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion, the Dream Master began to speak.
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet? What?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the Harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She personally made for the front lines. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, stray bullets showed no such compassion.
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering in the field hospital. By the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries. Once you've attended to your outstanding tasks, it'd be advisable to write her back as soon as possible.
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Gopherwood. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments, don't you?
How could this happen? Miss Robin.
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harmonies, limitations, and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But rest assured, this choice will not have any grave consequences, because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. If you ever had the opportunity to make a choice like I did, would you still support Robin's journey on the path of harmony?
Miss Robin's courage is admirable. And here I was thinking she was just another superstar celebrity. But the fact that she's also Mr. Sunday's younger sister? No, I doubt he'd wish harm on his own flesh and blood, no matter how grand the ambition.
I see. I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order where the strong govern the weak. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain, because this is not what happiness is at all. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life, and this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way of survival that belongs to everyone.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison, a place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order. That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the face of the new world. Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit, living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all would surely understand this.
It sounds like a flawless theory.
But what is the price to attain all this?
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only logical that we defeat it.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape exist in everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature, and from there, show compassion and protection.
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion for all, even when your heart pities them. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright. The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide. Perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong that it even impresses an Eon.
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak family, I'm extending a formal invitation to all of you. I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, you won't be in the audience, but on center stage. Since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, let's draw a conclusion there, in all fairness. If you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.
Does that mean he wants to fight us during the Charmony Festival?
I'm afraid so.
This is weird. Aren't Arc villains usually plotting some dirty conspiracy in the end? But he actually said something like, "in all fairness." Could it be that he's underestimating us?
Well, in my opinion, Sunday is deeply committed to his own philosophy and genuinely wants to prove that the Order is right. I sensed a strong conviction and a desire for dominance in him. Maybe he won't accept the outcome unless he wins fair and square. That's why he'll give it his all in the upcoming battle.
Every time an important moment arrives, you hesitate. We've even dealt with a Lord Ravager of the Destruction, so a follower of the Order won't be a big deal.
Anyway, we can't leave the Stellaron unchecked. This is about trailblazing a bright future for Penacony and fulfilling Mikhail's and his predecessors' long-cherished wishes. Now that we've taken up the mantle, we can't afford to fail them.
However, the same applies to the Order. Their plan didn't materialize overnight, and they have the profound collective consciousness of the planet of festivities behind them. a desire to dream, to slumber and escape reality. All those hidden emotions have given birth to the sweet dream of the Order. They've harnessed the will of an entire planet to create an eon. This confrontation is far more complicated than a simple power struggle. To secure Penacony's future, fighting on the stage alone is not enough.
What do you mean? Are you not coming with us?
I believe Firefly is trying to say that she's heading off to another battle.
Before I left, the Destiny Slave told me that this journey would bring unforgettable rewards. Even though the script he gave me only had a few lines, I couldn't ignore them. Because one of the lines said, "I'll experience death 3 times in the land of the dreams."
3 times? This can't be serious, right?
The first time was a painful death when I was stabbed by the Blade of Dormancy, which led to all subsequent events. The script will always come true, but in a way that will only be revealed when that page is turned. So now I've understood the meaning of my second death. And I am prepared to face it. If all goes well, my efforts will provide crucial support for you. Only by achieving victory in this battle can we secure a future for Penacony. And only then, my third and final death won't come true in the most terrible form.
The most terrible form? Does that mean...
The true death, where everyone in Penacony loses themselves completely in the eternal sweet dream of the Order.
We must do everything we can to prevent that.
Have you made up your mind, Firefly?
Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Thank you again for your assistance for the Astral Express. May we meet again, in reality.
Yeah. Farewell, everyone. May your trailblazing expedition never end. I dreamed of a scorched earth.
Everyone, are you ready?
A new shoot sprouted from the earth. It bloomed in the morning sun and whispered to me. Like fireflies to a flame, life begets death. May we meet again in reality.
After today, Japella's name will disappear from cosmic history, and the Everflame Mansion will take its place. In the not-too-distant future, you'll receive an invitation. That's your next stop.
Land of the dreams. Penacony.
I hope you find whatever you seek there, be it answers or salvation.
You mean my 3 deaths?
Silverwolf told me about it. It's such a shame that it's not part of my script.
Well, I want to live. I'm never afraid of death. The opposite of death is eternal life, and that's something I'll never desire. People die, and I am no exception. Death is like a script, a fate that cannot be defied. But that's exactly why we have to choose where we want to rest forever.
Do you exist just to perish?
Are you not the same, Blade? The end you desire is not one dictated by others. If I were to die now, I would only be a weapon. I believe I should die as a human. Though its definition escapes me, isn't this the answer that ordinary people look for their whole lives? A name that can be carved onto their tombstone. The tombstone that belongs to me once bore the inscription, Glamoth's Iron Cavalry. Then it changed to Stellaron Hunter. But one day, it will bear the name Firefly. And all the brilliance she showed at the end of her life.